Number 14, graph the equation by determining the missing values needed to plot the ordered pairs. All right, and we've been given the equation y minus x equals -1. And again, we have three ordered pairs, just like we did with number 13. Except notice this time, this is a good question. Notice that we are missing x's and y's. All right, so we've got to be careful when plugging in our respective values. All right, so just notice that, for example, here in this first ordered pair, we're missing the y, but in the second ordered pair here, we're missing the x. So we have to be careful about that. All right, so let's go ahead and find what our missing pairs here are. So if we are trying to find the y coordinate, well, we know then that that's the x, this is y, this is x, this is y, this is x, this is y. So if we're trying to find the missing y from this ordered pair, and we've been given the x, let's go ahead and take this value of x, plug it into the given equation so that we can solve for the missing y. All right, so we have y minus x. Well, what is x? Positive 4 equals -1. And if we go ahead and distribute that minus sign through, we end up with y minus 4 equals -1. And if we're trying to solve for y, we'll go ahead and add 4 to both sides. And we end up with y equals positive 3. All right, so there's our first ordered pair, all filled in, looks good. Let's go ahead and repeat the process now, except this time, like we said before, notice we're missing the x, so we need to be careful when plugging in our values. So we'll have, well, let's see, we have the y from the ordered pair, so we'll plug in that y, so positive 6 minus x equals -1. There's no negative sign out front of this set of parentheses to change the sign of this 6, and so that tells us we can go ahead and just drop these parentheses. So we'll just have 6 minus x equals -1. We're trying to solve for x, so let's start moving things away from the x, and to do that we'll subtract 6 from both sides. So we end up with a -x equals -7. And lastly, if we want a positive x, we can divide or multiply both sides by -1. We'll end up with the same result. Either way, we end up with x equals a positive 7. All right, so there's our x. And last but not least, we'll go ahead and find the missing y from this last ordered pair. And to do that, we'll do y minus positive 3 equals -1. Again, we'll distribute, so we end up with y minus 3 equals -1. We'll add 3 to both sides so that we can get the y all by itself. And so we end up with y equals positive 2. All right, so now we have all three of our points. We're going to go ahead and plot these points, connect them, and see what our line looks like. So 4, 3, let's see, 4, 3, right about there. And now 7, 6, so 7, 6 somewhere, looks right about there. And finally 3, 2, looks right about there. And I'm going to do my best to draw a straight line. Hey, that's not too bad freehand, right? So there we have it. There is the line y minus x equals -1. Now I went ahead and graphed this on a computer just to visually see that the line that we graphed was correct. And so you can see here we have all of our points, 7, 6, 4, 3, 3, 2, and of course the red line itself is the y minus x equals -1. All right, so we were able to find all these points just simply using algebra, but it's nice to use some technology, get in the habit of double checking yourself. You know, this is an emerging world of technology, and so it's a good idea to know how to use some of these features. And this is actually a great graph created by, for free, the website Desmos.com. It's a super powerful graphing calculator that will do everything from college algebra that we're in now all the way up through Calculus 3 and beyond. So I would definitely encourage you to check out this website, create a free account, and you'll be good to go. But other than that, here is number 14. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 15. I'll see you there.